And here we go, game one. This is a best of 5 series. In the blue, Flipsid Tactics. In orange, SupersonicStars. I know the colors aren't right on the thing. I tried. I really tried. Tell you what we're gonna do. Oh, nearly early goal, actually. Marky Duda, I was just about to flip things over. Let's get in on Marky Duda here. We'll follow Marky Duda a little bit around here. He's gonna keep doing that to me though. So early goal for Marky Duda sets the pace a little bit, coming off of Sunday's big final matchup. They're trying to come out, I think, a little early, a little aggressive. Hopefully set the pace pretty strong to try and not deal with the threat that they dealt with on Sunday. But they are going to have a very difficult team ahead of them. We shall have to see. This is going to be a best of 5 series. We're already game 1. Oh, nearly a good finish there by Marky Duda. Trying to put things on point, but FoXRaiD back on the attack. Big aerial attempt here, but it will go a little high. They can't get the finish off of that rebound. And still just sort of putting a lot of pressure on goal, but no real finishes. Good turnaround here. And oh, and nearly a goal there by Stocky. In fact, let's oh, killer number 7 gets a big finish. Let's try to follow killer number 7 here. See his big goal there. Comes up and gets the slightest tap to redirect that ball into the net. So, off to a good start for both of these teams. Already an early knotted up game. Pretty much what I expected to see out of these two, especially after what we saw Sunday. They are very closely matched, to say the least. Oh, Marky Duda nearly gets the finish on that corner shot. Or nearly gets the save. Actually just trying to stop it there. So a good attempt, but now have to go back on the defensive here. Godlight tries to play it up, but doesn't get enough force behind it, so Kooksir is able to get a nice touch. Gets the cross for Marky Duda. No, Stocky turns him aside. It's a big touch. Killer number 7 sends it into the corner, trying to get some kind of setup going, but they can't quite do it. Now back on the attack. Stocky with a nice shot. Fortunately, Kooksir gets in front of it. Tries to put the pressure back on, but here we go. Both taking to the air. Killer number 7 gets a good turnaround on there. Good shot attempt for Flipside, but they cannot get the finish to put themselves up. So they still got a very difficult road ahead of them. They have to try and do something to get FoXRaiD to turn this, or to really get ahead of FoXRaiD. And there's a good shot by Marky Duda. Let's get another look at this goal. Comes in off of half court, puts it away very nicely. Again, off the kickoff. Sent back into the orange zone, but quickly turned aside by SupersonicStars. They're going to have to do... Really, their strategy here is they got to start playing a little more aggressive. They're falling a bit behind on the old aggressive meter compared to Flipside Tactics. A lot of offensive opportunities are coming for the blue team. And really I think all that really Supersonic's looking for here is just the opportunity to kind of poke this attack through. And, you know, break through this defensive wall that Flipside's put up. And there's a good opportunity. Marky Duda, fortunately, gets onto a pretty decent spot to stop that. And the pressure is back on for your orange team. I mean, they've really got to get a consistent presence on the blue side of the field. They're not doing that yet, and we're starting to see the results of it. It's only 2-1, but when you're talking about these two teams, and there's your third goal. Marky Duda gets a big touch here. Let's take one more look at this. Leaves the defense on the wrong side of the ball. Nobody in a good position in goal to make a play on it. Works out very nicely. So we'll follow Marky Duda around a little bit here once again. Trying to get that finish. We're in the last minute of play. It's going to be very hard for SupersonicStars to actually do anything about it, but Godlight gets the second goal for his team. Let's follow Godlight in on this play. He sees the ball in a great position, goes in for the finish, and gets the dunk. We're going to take this through here now. So, good clear out of the zone for Godlight. And right now, they have to play very hard to keep this ball off of their offensive side and try to get one more goal. They're down to barely 30 seconds to play. And they've really got to turn something around here if they are actually going to try and take this game or equalize it at the very least. But it is game one. They have a best-of-5 series ahead of them. We've seen as of Sunday, FoXRaiD can beat this team in a best-of-5, but it's not going to be in game one. Marky Duda gets the punctuation, the exclamation point, if you will, on this victory for his team. Marky, why do you do this to me? So let's take back to this guy again. Final 10 seconds of play here. Already trying to get a finish here. Killer number 7 gets a good touch on it. Godlight tries to follow up, but they are running out of time. And in fact, they might be able to get one more here, but no, Mike Rules turns them away. Though the ball's still up in the air. Rule number 1, it ain't over till that happens. Once that happens, then it falls apart. So, first game is going to go to Flipsid Tactics. Early finish for them. Good, pretty solid play, but still a lot of what, I guess really what we expected. You know, this is kind of what we expected out of both these teams. It was a very close game. It only kind of took off near the end, I would say, a little bit. But, still not a very dominant showing by either team quite yet, and that was very reminiscent of what we got on Sunday. So here we go, game number 2. Once again, in blue, Flipsid Tactics. In orange, SupersonicStars. Here we go, the offense attack begins again for Flipside. Position they're in right now, they've got to try and do something to establish an early dominating presence, I think. You know, they played a little bit on the back foot in game number 1. So we really got to see this out of Supersonic to get ahead, take a little bit of an early lead, start to establish their dominance in game 2, show Flipside they're not to be reckoned with. But they're going to have a hard time doing it. A little bit of back and forth. Nobody's gotten any real solid offensive opportunities in this game so far. Oh, but Mike Rules left to be debris. Unfortunately, they cannot make a play on it. Oh, and a good aerial shot by Killer number 7. He sets it up. Stocky doesn't get into position, so they have to fall back to try and stop this Flipside onslaught. Godlight turns him aside, and here comes the attack. A wide open net, and that is going to put it in easy for Stocky. Let's take a look at this touch. Long distance. That's on a hard view. I don't want a hard view. Here we go. Back to kickoff. So once again, a good early goal for this team put in by Stocky. SupersonicStars needs to keep this momentum going, however, and they can't leave their net wide open like that. Fortunately, Flipside wasn't able to do anything with it on that particular play. A good floating shot there, but Mike Rules gets right behind Kooks here to make the critical, absolutely critical save to keep Flipside in this game. But there's a nice setup there. They're getting a lot of solid opportunities, and there's another one. Godlight with a gorgeous looking goal. And we're not going to get to see it. Alright, anyway. I'm going to try and stay in this aerial view here. We're having some quality problems when I go into player view. My apologies for that. Trying to get a good balance between quality, but there Mike Rules gets a necessary, absolutely necessary mid-game goal. Takes it off high. He's going to put the pressure on net and pick up that score. So now, the game is still within Flipside's reach, but a one-goal margin is a lot bigger than it looks on paper when you got these two teams playing. Certainly is no means impossible. Oh, again, they have to go up high to try to stop it. Their defense is a little bit off point today for SupersonicStars. I'm watching them kind of all fall to one side of the net and not really spread out across, across the entire goal line. If they're going to have all three players back there, they've really got to make a good approach there, but Kuksir gets the equalizer at the halfway mark. Hopefully we will see this one more time. Long distance shot goes off the crossbar. Kuksir plays it low. They can't get back across the goal line in time to stop it. And Flipside knots this up at 2 apiece in game number 2 here. Flipside coming off a lot stronger in this series than they did previously. On Sunday, they came off a little slow. FoXRaiD or Supersonic took the early game, but still managed to... They did still manage to come back and get the full series victory. But right now, oh, a good shot on point, but it is deflected out by Flipside and put back in the offensive zone. So now we're playing a little bit of table tennis with these two teams. Sending the ball out. Good aerial shot. No, but Stocky can't quite get the contact. He needs a good dribble there. Oh, but Kuksir with the critical stop. That was an outstanding defensive positioning there by Kuksir. Had a good dribble coming in. Oh, and that cross there. Kuksir a little off point. Can't quite get the ball on net in the corner that he needs to put it on. Again, killer number 7. Nice save. Puts the ball into the corner. But they're leaving their net wide open. Somebody's got to get up there. But they can't do it. Kuksir. Take a look at this one more time. Kuksir deflects it up into the corner. I'm sorry, Markey flicks it up into the corner. And Kuksir gets the shot into the post and the rebound to get his goal. Little squeeze on the kickoff here. The score is 3-2. Flipside looking very nice in this pretty well-established game. I wouldn't say it's a dominating game, but they are certainly looking like the team that should have the advantage right now. Their positioning is on point. Their defense is on point. FoXRaiD is going to have a hard time breaking through this. Good setup there by Godlight. They're only 1 goal down. They have plenty of time to actually try and do something, but it's not going to be easy against Flipside Tactics. Right now, Flipside is doing their best. Keep the ball in the middle of the field. Keep it on their opponent's side. Keep it out of the blue zone. But a good setup here by Godlight. Unfortunately, nobody able to actually come make a play on it. He had good positioning, but he could not get the finish. Alright, set up into the corner here. Again, the pressure's coming. They're down to the final 30 seconds. They've got to put 1 more goal away, else they're going to go down 2-0 and be in a must-win situation going into game number 3. I would be very surprised if this Flipside Tactics team sweeps this series after such a close final on Sunday. Right now, killer number 7 gets a big shot on goal, but it is stopped by Kuksir. Final few seconds, they need to make a play on this ball. Killer number 7 floats it up. Here comes Godlight, tries to get the touch. The ball is still active, game still going. Kuksir gets the stop and sends the ball down. So there you have it. Flipside takes another game off of this team. They are 1 game away from moving on to the semifinals. So we are moving into game number 3 right now. Once again, unexpected. As far as I'm concerned, at least, it's unexpected that this team would potentially sweep SupersonicStars so soon after a best-of-7 grand final on the EU Cup number 6. But here we go. Offensive opportunity starting. I'm going to get to the other side of the pitch here. Sorry about that. Try to get to the right side of the pitch. And again, the team's feeling each other out a little bit here. Good setup starting to come in play. Oh, that was a little off-kilter touch there. I think they were trying to set up some kind of shot, but they couldn't really make it happen. But again, SupersonicStars moving up. Some miscommunication. Maybe the pressure's getting to them a little bit. They know that they have to win 3 in a row now in order to advance. Cooksier tries to get the touch on it. A good center there. Goes across the goal line, but nobody in place to try to actually make the finish. Again, pressure back on point. Cooksier back in goal. They leave him in shards. A good setup here, but can somebody get the touch to finish? No. Again, so many opportunities where this ball is put right in front of the net, and they're not actually getting the opportunity to just put it away and wrap things up. But it's going to be difficult. You know, Flipside has a trio of people on their team that are just dominant. Godlight has to make a critical save there, and he does get in front of it in time. So does everybody else so far, keeping the 0 score sheet alive. But look at the quality of these offensive opportunities. I mean, the quality of these offensive opportunities is just solid by Flipside Tactics. They're getting the sort of touch they need. They're getting the sort of pressure they need. They're causing the defense to have to move in just ridiculous ways to try and make these stops. But there's killer number 7 with an excellent aerial stop in the corner. But they're getting so much pressure, they got to get it out of play here. They can't be forced to stay on defense this entire game. A nice setup there. Going to try to put it on for Cooksier, but they can't get anything done. So now the ball's going to go onto the blue side of the pitch. Time for SupersonicStars to try and pull something out here. Still plenty of time, but another low-scoring affair in the early goings. This is probably going to be potentially Flipside's most difficult challenge in this tournament. Now, of course, they're going to have to deal with potentially Swarm Gaming if they make it through here. Nice little cross, tries to get the setup, but no doing. Excellent job by Cooksier to get the critical clear, keep it out of play, keep this game alive. The good thing for Flipside is they're up 2 games. They can play it a little more aggressively. They can leave their net a little more open, try to take advantage of these, so far from what I've seen, a kind of off-point defense by SupersonicStars, and a nice setup there by killer number 7. For killer number 7, I should say, but he can't quite get the finish to actually put it away. This is getting rough. Godlight clears it back onto the blue side of the pitch. Cooksier flows it up high. He's going up to get his own rebound, gets a nice gentle touch to try to redirect it ever so slightly, but Godlight is in a good spot to make an easy save. I mean, just watch Flipside. The offensive opportunities they're getting, the offensive opportunities they're taking are just superb. The few that FoXRaiD is getting are okay, but they're not really making Flipside have to work for it. Flipside is making this team work for their defensive stops. And we are coming down to the final minute of play. SupersonicStars has to pull something out. All it's going to take is 1 goal, I think, to turn the tide of this game. It's not going to be a multi-goal game, I don't expect. And there's a good shot. Killer number 7, but Cooksier with an absolutely brilliant stop. A good setup, but they don't have anybody in the right angle to make a play on it. Stocky with a lovely dribble tries to float it up. It is still being fought over in the net, but Cooksier keeps behind it and prevents the goal. Mike Rules gets the setup again. FoXRaiD has to react quickly. Marky Duda tries to get a setup here. Somebody's going to come in, but they can't do it in time. Cooksier tries to get the clear into the corner. Another floating shot, another stop. He has been nothing but brilliant in net for Flipside Tactics. Cooksier has been like a wall for this squad, and it's showing. Final 30 seconds. Could we see a 0-0 overtime? Not if Mike Rules has anything to say about it, but Stocky turns him away. And they're going to come down to the final 15 seconds and try to put something away. Good setup here by Cooksier. He sets it up high, tries to get his rebound, but it gets redirected into the corner. We're down to the last 10 seconds. At least the last 10 seconds on the clock, as you all know. The game ain't over till the ball touches the ground. And there we go. Overtime. 0-0 overtime. First goal, golden goal, to win the game. This is a series-winning opportunity for Flipsid Tactics. They put 1 goal in the net, and they are moving on to the semifinals. For SupersonicStars, they have to score to keep themselves alive, and there's the opportunity, but it's a little off point. Nobody there to try to follow up on the rebound, but they're keeping the ball in the blue zone, and at this point, that's what you have to do. You have to play this just constantly aggressive. And there's a good follow-up off the rebound, but FoXRaiD again. Just unreal defense by FoXRaiD. Playing goalie like an absolute legend in this game, making some of the most stellar saves that I have seen in a row in a single game. But here he goes. Makes the setup into the corner. Stocky tries to turn that aside, but doesn't get the good clear. That ball was rolling into a rough spot. Flipside can't make the finish, though. And now, the ball back on the orange side. They tried to clear it out of play, but no such luck. Back to blue. Godlight going into the corner. Tries to get the setup. It's floating into a nice spot. Killer number 7 tries to get the aerial. A little low aerial, but couldn't quite do it. And now FoXRaiD, a bit of a touch. The ball goes in. Mike Rules with the game and series clinching goal. Big win for Flipside Tactics and a show of utter dominance by this team. They come out in 3 games, get 3 wins over the team that was probably going to threaten them the hardest, and they look just outstanding, to say the very least.